This is a video to thank a group of artists. About 5 years ago, 3 things happened.
1.
I was in college and was not enthusiastic about what I was doing. I was kind of dreading it because I felt like I would not be able to change my life before the future happened, and I was going to be stuck not enjoying my life. So I told myself, just think about whatever job you want. But there weren't, so I said, well, you know what, just think about whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter if it's a job, just whatever you like to do. I couldn't really think of that either.
2.
I was hanging out with some friends, and one of them was talking about how he was making some music in GarageBand, or just like playing around and stuff. And I was like, how'd you do that? You know, like what tutorials did you look up, like YouTube videos or whatever? I've always wanted to do that. But he was like, Leo, like you don't have to learn anything, you just do it. And I don't think he was trying to be very profound at that moment. That really shook me to my core. I was like, oh my God, you just do it. You don't have to learn it. You just figure it out.
3.
I listened to an album called Since I Left You by the Avalanches. The thing about that album is it's very visually evocative, at least for me. And I just had this movie going on in my head of what I was seeing. And I was like, I really want to watch this movie. And I thought, you know what? Let's make it. But realistically, I really did not know how to make an hour-long movie. But the thing about this album is that it's entirely made out of samples. They just were doing it in their bedroom. And so I thought, you know what? I'm gonna do the same thing, but with like old movies and commercials and whatever. So a couple days later, I started the first song, and it was going great. I thought it was awesome. Then a couple days later, I started the next one, and it wasn't finished, but it was in a good place. And then I started the third one, and the ideas were getting a little dry at that point. And there's 18 songs in the album. And I kind of was thinking, all right, if I'm having trouble on song 3, I don't know if this is going to happen, I'm not religious, but this moment in my life, it felt like some divine intervention. It wasn't even a choice, it felt like. It was a calling. I don't care how long this takes. You don't have to tell anyone. No one has to know if you fail or whatever. You are just going to do this. And so I kept going. But then one day, I realized I'm halfway done with this thing. And I thought, okay, if I've done this once, I can do this again. And then eventually I was 3/4 the way done. And then I had 2 songs left. And then I had 1 song left. And then I finished it. And I remember watching it for the first time. I don't think I will ever feel that good. The finished film, I called it Life on a Boat. It came out 4 years ago, almost today. It's a bit of a sign, because I've always wanted to thank the Avalanches. I really got to give thanks, not just because they inspired me to make something. They inspired, it changed my life, that album. It truly changed my life. It felt like, to me, there were 2 types of people. Those that did and those that did not. Or those that could make art and those who could not. I gave myself every excuse of why I couldn't. It wasn't even excuses. It just was like a fact to me. I don't make anything. That's not who I am. I'm not that person. But, as much as I'm proud of myself for having the will to do it, I would not be able to do this were it not for that album. I mean, it just spoke to me in a way and that caused me to just have to do something. You kind of have to give thanks whenever a piece of art really inspires you to do something,